Hi, I'm Sierra Durbin. I wanted to find a poem today that focused on either of my favorite genres, horror, fantasy, or science fiction. I loved the literary magazine I stumbled upon called Eye to the Telescope. The mixture of greens and golds, the galaxy kind of background, and the dragon eye symbol in the top corner really pulled me in, so I started searching through its archives. Finally, I found this little treasure in the October 2021 issue titled The Sea Shares Her Origin Story by Melissa Ridley Elmes. The writing theme for this week is using figurative language to write from memory. I chose this poem because the title, The Sea Shares Her Origin Story, hinted that this poem would feature some sort of reflection on the past. I also love the fact that the speaker is a being other than a human, yet she still has thoughts and emotions that help the readers understand her perspective. I thought it related to this week's theme because the figurative language brought me into the speaker's mind and invited me into her experience. Even though this is a fictional piece, not based from a real person's memory, it still feels real and relatable. Now I'll read The Sea Shares Her Origin Story. I was not always the sea. Long, long ago, I walked the earth alongside all the other animal people, those with 2 legs and 4 legs, 6 legs and 8 legs and more. How many legs did I have? It matters not. I did not keep them long. I used them to chase down other animal people. I was always hungry and never satisfied. I swallowed everyone I could catch, everyone who came into my path, my sole driving force, the desire to fill my vast emptiness. When the changer came along and asked each of us what we wanted to be, I said, I want to be full and never feel empty again. And the changer heard my hollow spirit through my words and felt sorry for me, for of all the animal people that roamed the world then, I was by far the loneliest and most nugatory, consisting only of my own form and whatever scraps of substance I could cling to from those I swallowed. That was never enough. Little one, the changer said to me, I grant you this request, cease feeling empty. And with a touch I was transformed into the great vast sea, full of creatures and plants and mysteries of the deep, endlessly, filling and refilling with birth and death, with bodies of ships and of humans, seduced by the lure of my beauty and depth, infected with my old, aching void, longing to satisfy an emptiness they cannot escape and do not understand. Come, I say to them, and I will sing you lullabies and rock you to sleep, to dream in the deep, for I am never empty, and like you, never satisfied. I think many people, including myself, can relate to an empty sort of feeling at one point in life. Another thing that is relatable in this piece is the fact that people or living things of any kind change. I have definitely experienced days where I felt lonely and not satisfied with where I was in life. But this poem is inspirational because it's a reminder that those feelings aren't permanent and that transformation is a good thing. I love the narrative flow of this poem. Starting off with the first line, I was not always the sea, was an incredibly effective choice because it intrigued me and made me want to find out more about the speaker and her background. Placing a lot of emphasis on the way a poem begins is definitely something poets can learn from in developing their craft, as well as learning how to make a poem feel like a story, like this one. I like this piece a lot because it felt like a folk or fairy tale, especially with the line, Long, long ago I walked the earth, which made me think of Once Upon a Time in a Kingdom Far, Far Away. And using the dialogue from the Changer character also made this feel like a story. In response to The Sea Shares Her Origin Story, I challenge you to write a poem that personifies an object or a place and give it a personal voice and memory. For example, you could write in the perspective of a doll that feels forgotten, reflecting on the times the little girl used to play with it and now she's all grown up. Thank you all for embarking on this poetic journey with me.